Hello, and it's a beautiful Monday. As you know, mornings are the best time to inspire our lovely viewers to kickstart the day with loads of high spirits, great strength. Try and fill them up with some positivity.
I love that. Nah, this is the very top of the morning to you, and we're wishing you the very best. Now, I hope your weekend was
What?
adventurous.
Adventure outside your house. So.
Yeah, don't adventure outside your house.
Adventure is indoors.
Let us take the risks for you by coming out and showing up on your screen like this. We're actually live right now.
Yeah,
this is not
we're
recorded.
live. It's not recorded.
Yeah.
We do everything possible to make sure we come to you live, even though the crew is, what's the word? The word isn't scanty. The word is what? Skeletal. That's the word. Thank you.
I wanted to say sparse.
Sparse? Yeah.
But skeletal.
Skeletal.
Sounds,
yeah,
good.
but it's so that we can just make sure that you have something great to watch. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us on your #1 family breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah, Wake Up Nigeria is the show. We are fully committed to bringing you that morning sunshine that you need. So here we are once again at 6 a.m. We know you've got nothing to do.
Wow, okay.
I just had to throw that in there. So of course you're awake at 6 a.m.
But some people are busy now. Some people are busy
so
plotting graphs.
People getting stuff done.
Planning things.
Hopefully. And look, don't get into all that pressure of what are you doing with your life during this countdown. Everybody's saying that. Look, if you want to rest, like there are people who have never rested.
Yeah, true.
They worked 10 straight years without going on leave and taking a month off.
Yeah.
Now you have a month off.
Yeah.
You don't have to overthink it. Don't overthink it.
Just chill.
Don't overthink 2020. Just relax. You don't have to go and do an MBA or whatever it is that all these motivational speakers are saying.
But then again, you could. You know, you could. If you wanted to, it's something you had in your plans, you could.
What I'm saying is, if you want to rest, just rest.
We want you to follow all the health guidelines strictly. Please stay at home, stay safe, keep your hands clean. And if you have no business being out there, just make sure you do not leave your house.
Don't leave your house, and make sure you always wash your hands. If you do step out, or sometimes you need medical supplies, or you need food, essential eggs, bread, whatever it is. If you do go out, please wash your hands when you get back inside.
Yeah.
And keep everybody safe. The kids, grandma and grandpa especially.
Yeah.
Just make sure that everyone around you is safe by being responsible.
My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And I'm Yomi Oku. We're streaming live right now.
TVCentertainment.tv and Facebook at TVC Connect. You can also send in those comments. We can't wait to see them. Tell us how you're spending your time. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
All right. Have you seen our app yet? Go to your Android store, iOS store. Download it by searching for TVC Connect. Click, and you can watch us anywhere you are in the world.
Yeah. So we're starting off the show in a very, very important way. We have something that happens every single day now. We actually appreciate these daily vulnerables with Chude Jidongo.
I used to be an alcoholic. I haven't tasted a drop of beer for 20.
And then after that, we'll bring you the latest in the world of technology, all right? You find out what's going on. Working from home, what are the things that you can do? And also, lots of free courses that are being offered nowadays, and you might want to check them out as well.
And then we have an amazing chef, a chef for the day. Now, we're going to be making a very mouth-watering meal, something that you can't afford to miss. You need to make sure you stay close for that one.
Now, some positive thinking might be all you need to get you through this 4-week lockdown. And for motivation this morning, we're going to be joined by Stephen Omojugbe via Skype, and he's going to be talking to us more on that.
Have you ever wanted to know more about how to manage your business income during this lockdown? And of course, in preparation for its eventual removal, you need to stick around. Sharif Badamosi is going to join us via Skype to help us understand more.
And we haven't forgotten our auto segment. Yeah. And you know, as you're getting ready to get back to work in another week or so, hopefully, we have Yomi Boside of Auto Centric Garage, who's going to be joining us to talk to us about how best to manage cars while the cars are on lockdown themselves. So you're on lockdown, your car is on lockdown too, but what's the best way to ensure that the car is running nice and smooth?
Yeah. And then, of course, we're going to be taking a look down memory lane. Some significant events that happened this week in history.
And finally, we're going to wrap things up with a Skype session with actress and producer Uche Ogbodo.
What next? Anybody you see outside, mad, brave man, started just like this.
Dramatic.
You know, there's one thing that I've been seeing online over the past month or so, and they've been saying that most of artists are the reason why people are getting through this lockdown around the world.
When you say
actors,
artists,
whether actors, musicians,
comedians,
arts, just people in the arts. So it's not the engineers.
Well,
it's not any of those guys who were smart Alex in your class. Right now, the people helping us to get through the depression, the sadness, the boredom, whatever it is. It's those guys that studied the arts, and those are the comedians that are making you laugh.
so laughing is actually considered therapy in itself. There are some who just never have enough time to have a good laugh.
Yeah.
They don't have much entertaining them in their environment. So thankfully, because of technology, because of everyone's cell phones now, they have access to a comedian on demand. You know which page to go to, you know who to follow for, just to, at least give yourself a good laugh. And laughing is important. It's just a stress relief, at a point. But there are some videos online that I feel sometimes are just very morbid.
A little bit too...
too much.
Too off,
Anything where a child is crying because someone did something bad to the child.
A lot of edgy stuff too with the coronavirus thing, making lots of jokes about it. I mean, it's one thing to joke about it, it's fine, but also you want to make sure that you're passing out the wrong message, which is mainly keeping away from others, social isolation or social distancing.
Yeah, of course.
And right now, I heard the WHO, before just as we're rounding off, is trying to change that term, social distancing.
Really?
Yes, because it has a negative connotation. Because you can be inside the house and still be social.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So now they want to call it physical distancing.
Goodness me.
So I don't know whether that will stick, but that's what WHO is giving that advisory now, that that's probably going to change.
That should be an interesting discussion. It would be a kind of meeting where you want to hear these experts actually, talk about this stuff and how it actually affects people. We have to take the news update now, and Yomi, it's all yours.
Yes. Now, some neighborhoods in Lagos have been setting up bonfires as part of self-measures to keep criminal gangs away during the lockdown. But this is now already beginning to take its toll on the population and soot pollution and smoke inhalation in homes and on the streets. Abosede Omorui reports.
First, it was a global coronavirus outbreak. Then, in a bid to control its spread, they were directed to stay home, save lives. But now they have one more thing to worry about. Another health hazard with potential to do just as much damage as any deadly virus can. The lockdown order has kept vast populations of the urban poor at home, leading to a loss of daily income they survive on. As empty streets lead to hungry stomachs, the resultant tension is one spearheaded by cult groups known at different times as Awawa Boys, 1 Million Boys, and most recently, 1 Billion Gang. Now, it's every street and every neighborhood for itself, as security agents appear overwhelmed with the burden. But the methods being adopted for self-defense are counterproductive.
One of the things that we've begun to notice is the consistent burning of tires. And while the intention is to scare away thieves and burglars, it's becoming harmful to the environment.
For them, the seriousness of facing sleepless nights because of gangs who usually send letters to target areas ahead of each attack is one that cannot be taken lightly. They are confronting it as desperately as they can.
So we bought tires so that we'll be able to secure ourselves and make sure we are not armed by anybody, because we notice that those boys, once they notice everywhere is dark, they use that medium to come into the streets and attack. But once they see that there is fire from one street to from one junction to another, they won't have that medium to come close at all.
The bonfire. It is made up of burning materials which produce flames, a sign to put the enemy on notice that a vigil is being kept to prevent their visit. But in the morning, the fires are out. Life returns to normal in spite of the lockdown. Then come the consequences. It's what's left of the bonfire: ash, soot, and dust. My friend Daya Samuel takes me back to a site where the flames once stood. The smoke still rising as it will soon fill homes and cause its own havoc. He called my attention when he noticed his infant sleep suit was black all over. His fan, wall, curtain, floor, and nostrils are all filled with thick black substances, all effect of the tire fires. Dayo's neighborhood in Ogba is not the only affected. In Alagbole, a border town between Lagos and Ogun State, and affected by the lockdown directive of the federal government, the story is hardly different.
The news spread that these 1 million boys, they are coming to our area, so we don't know what to do. The next thing, our community has to gather ourselves to look for tire, to give awareness to the people so that whenever they are coming, they will know that something is happening and people are gathering. So to scare them away, that is why we put tires here and there to gather ourselves.
At a third location in Ojodu, what we found was even more stunning. Locals here are not bothered about soot getting into their homes. They have actually come to terms with the reality. I found Taye Asifa, a meat seller who is at the stall, just like all the others who have gone about their businesses. But they bear on their bodies the marks of what had happened the night before. The attempts to shut the door against unwanted visitors, the coronavirus on the one hand and rampaging hoodlums on the other, has opened the way for another potentially deadly health challenge: smoke inhalation, which according to the World Health Organization estimates causes around 7 million deaths every year worldwide and leaves many more exposed populations at the risk of contracting diseases such as stroke, heart disease, lung cancer, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, and respiratory infections, including pneumonia. Abosede Omowi, TVC News, Lagos.
That's excellent reporting there by Abosede, but we're going to take a quick break now and be back with sports. But we do have to take the newspaper headlines right now.
And we only wish that the headlines could be, you know, brighter than they are today. It talks about, we're starting with the Vanguard, of course. Yep. And we have here, no law against release of COVID-19 corpses. That's the headline there, according to Lagos State government. It also does say here that an 83-year-old woman died in Lagos as 4 were discharged. Ogun State confirms 2 new cases and Oyo discharges 2. Page 11 has more on that. It says here, 68-year-old woman gives birth to twins at Luth. This is a piece of good news here. That's on page 23. It does say here as well, Dangote, Wigwe, others step up efforts to free Nigeria from pandemic. Page 8 has more on that. Meanwhile, bandits raid Katsina villages, kill 47, according to police. It was a bloodbath. Residents flee Ondo community over reprisal attack. Moving to the bottom of the page here, it says herdsmen abduct Anglican priest, wife, children in Delta State. And tension grips FCT residents as 12 more test positive. That's what we have on the Vanguard.
Let's take a look at the Daily Sun this Monday morning. COVID-19, anxiety over rise in cases in Abuja. And scores of residents in villages test positive. And nurses, midwives lament shortage of protective equipment in Lagos. And up here, Kyari's burial, why aides were turned back from Aso Rock, says the presidency. Southwest Edo, Borno, Enugu, Yobe governors, IPI, IPAC, and others mourn. And at the bottom here, kidnappers of Anglican priest fume over poor ransom negotiation and massacre in Katsina communities. Bandits kill 47. Wow. And finally, on the cover of the Daily Sun this morning, we have a photo story of passengers in transition from Ondo to Osun States arrested by Amotekun operatives at Ifetedo boundary for violating the lockdown order. And this was yesterday. And there are the passengers sitting down on the floor there under arrest.
I have that same photo story here on the cover of The Nation. And I guess it's similar. It says that is lockdown violators after their arrest at the Ondo-Osun State boundary, as you mentioned earlier. But the main headline on the cover of The Nation is this. It says, states step up COVID-19 tests to halt transmission. Lagos opens 20 sample centers. Ebonyi, Edo, Akwa Ibom raise test targets. It also says here that Edo imposes dusk to dawn curfew. And governors of the U.S. say it's not time to reopen the U.S. We have more on pages 27 and 28. Why security turned back officials after Kyari's burial by presidency. Meanwhile, it says IBB, Ngige, Zulum, others mourn COS. Reporters to proceed on self-isolation. Moving to the top of the page here, it says Nigeria will return to normalcy soon, according to Adeboye. Buhari orders crackdown as bandits kill 47 and troops for Katsina. And Gambari Shakarao, NIADG, others tipped as lobbying for COS intensifies. I guess that's Chief of Staff. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's about all that we can take on the newspaper headlines for this hour. We'll take more papers later on as well.
Somebody comes onto a pulpit or wherever and shares a testimony and says, I used to be an alcoholic, but I haven't tasted a drop of beer for 20 years. I always tell people to be very suspicious of those testimonies because many people are not perfect. When you sit down with those people, when you look at the research dealing with people like that, you find out that what they actually mean is that over the past 20 years, I've stopped living the life I used to live before. Maybe they would say that before they used to drink like, by the end of the day, they drank like, 10 bottles of beer. But now they can go a whole day without tasting any alcohol at all. But sometimes, because they're human beings, sometimes one day in the 7th year or the 3rd year, they will just drink 1/2 bottle of, Irish cream. Or they would, just drop small gin into small Fanta. And they're not addicted. They are not, they are still in control of their lives. But if they tell you the story like that, it won't be as sweet or as perfect as they say, I've not drank a drop of alcohol in 20 years. But I think it's time for us as human beings to begin to be a bit more honest about how we overcome our struggles. Because when we make it seem to people like if they are trying to change, they have to be perfect. They cannot miss a day, like if they are dieting. They cannot cheat for one day. That if they are, trying to be better parents, that they cannot lose their temper for one day. That if they lose their temper for one day, they are bad. If you keep lying to people about how perfect we are, if you as a boss, you as a teacher, you as a pastor, you as a parent, you as an imam, you as a priest, or any authority figure, if you keep lying to people that our own lives are perfect. We're making it extremely difficult for them to recover from mistakes when they make the mistakes themselves.
That's Daily Vulnerable there by Chide Jijonwa. I like what he was saying when, so a lot of people bring up this perfect persona when they, when you see them on the stage of life or whatever it is, and especially if they've gone through a struggle. You know, sometimes when you're now trying to connect with somebody else who's going through the same kind of struggle, it just looks like you're not connecting with them because you're just telling them that, yo, you can do it, without really telling them how you overcame your struggle or what steps you took. Because a lot of things that people share sound outlandish.
Of course.
So sometimes you see somebody, oh, he's a successful businessman. And he moved from, okay, we started this business in this year and suddenly we're billionaires. Like, so there's no connection. You can't really, he doesn't really tell you the process of how he became a billionaire.
Then there's that whole iceberg analogy. You know, what you're seeing at the top is completely different from what's going on beneath. What that person had to do or go through to get to where they are today is probably something you might not even imagine had to happen. The type of requests he or she had to make, sacrifices he or she had to make, and how long it actually really did take them to get to where they are today. Sometimes it just looks like they just got there overnight. It's always a long journey. Yeah. You see it sometimes with a lot of artists, performers, and you're like, this person is a star, this person is balling. Yeah. And you just never know how long this person has actually been doing
So
this.
usually, I mean, internationally, I mean, you can get the story and the backstory of people's lives easier than maybe in Africa or in Nigeria, because people don't really tell you their full story. But internationally, when you read the story of, say, Lady Diana, or even the Queen of England, how she started out as a teenager and all her difficulties and all of that. People like Elton John, that had to hide the fact that they were gay for a long time. So a lot of them had lots of struggles. Michael Jackson. Yeah.
So with his skincare issues.
Exactly. Michael Jackson, so you see that, look, this person really, really struggles. So they can be a star outside, but at home they're really struggling.
There's a movie that won an Oscar just this past award season called Judy, and it was around the life of Judy Garland. And for those that don't know who Judy Garland is, it's the lady that acted as Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. Now that movie went everywhere, around the world. It was such a powerful film, musical, actually. And nobody ever knew the kind of depression she was going through and what she went through before she passed on. And she passed on quite young as well. So there's so many different stories out there, but I think it's about creating your own. You need to really structure your own story. And when I use the word story, everybody's life is a story. You might feel you don't have a story, but guess what? Your own story is likely better than someone else's.
Very true, very true. So you could be watching from outside and thinking, oh, if I just had this person's life, this person looks like they're perfect. People send me DMs all the time and they say, oh, I want to be a presenter. I admire you so much. You're such a great dresser and everything.
You had to throw that one in there.
But I'm just saying, sometimes there's a sacrifice for every single thing. Like for us to be here today, we had to get up at 4 a.m. And it's not everybody that can make that sacrifice. There are other people who have to get up at 4 a.m. every single day to travel very long distances to get to work all day, 12, 14 hours, and then maybe 10 years later you see that they're successful. So can you do that? Can you do that? Can you go that extra mile and give what they have given to get what they got?
Speaking of people giving, there was something that happened over the weekend called the Global Citizens Concert. Now, all around the world, artists, public figures, actors, singers, they all came together to create this. Was it 8 or 10 hours? Or how many hours was it? It was, I saw about 8 hours.
Absolutely amazing. Unprecedented.
Yes, it's never happened before.
Unprecedented. You know, the last time this kind of a thing happened was the We Are the World concert.
Of course.
That happened in the 80s, I think 1986, with Michael Jackson and a bunch of other artists that came to sing, for hunger in Africa. Now this one was even bigger because it brought artists together from different locations, different continents of the world, bringing all of them together to just, you use the hashtag together at home to just bring everybody together. So it's like a one world concert that just really, really makes sure that let everybody know that we're all connected, we're all in this together, and we're going to overcome this together.
In the end, we are one world. That's the truth. We are global citizens, and for those more influential members of citizenship, let's put it that way, they came out in full force. The presenters among them came out, the comedians among them came out, the performing artists such as Stevie Wonder came out of. I haven't seen him perform in years, and he performed live.
Yeah.
I saw Paul McCartney, the last surviving member of the Beatles, perform as well. Our very own Burna Boy. Performed as well.
Jennifer Lopez. Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Everybody pitched in. Even Beyonce gave a speech. I don't know why she didn't perform, but she gave a speech. When I watched it, I thought it was really good. That's Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney right there.
Yeah, I thought the
performed.
speech. I thought the speech was really good. A lot of the artists, you didn't know that they were talented. Look at Katy Perry. And all these people playing the piano and just singing really, really emotional songs. Many of them got quite emotional, of course, singing their songs because all these songs they were singing it without any filters. So the voice hadn't gone through the synthesizer. So this was their actual voice,
raw talent.
Yeah, and there was something you said some months ago about Burna Boy's voice.
Yeah.
His performance voice.
Yeah.
When he's on stage and when you hear it
on CD,
it's
almost the same.
It's almost the same thing.
This is Lady Gaga. That's another amazing performer right there.
Yeah.
She put it together. She was the person that put this whole idea together. And I don't even think she understood how big this project was going to be.
And how people would jump on it because everybody just decided they were going to participate.
Let's hear her.
You'll see the sun come shining through.
Oh God, that's a voice.
This was also an opportunity for those artists who write their own songs and also are able to play an instrument to shine. It was really good. So you were saying something about Burna Boy.
Yeah. So his voice, his vocal texture, and his energy, the passion that he uses to perform, is the same every single time.
In fact, when I heard
every single stage.
I heard the song. It was playing, and then I heard his voice. I said, "Is he playing a CD?" Because he just sounded exactly the same. He was just sitting he was just sitting down on the couch and just singing with the microphone.
Raw talent.
The African Giant song, and I was like,
can
okay.
only hope that the message got around the world the way it was supposed to, and we.
It was just to encourage people, really, just to encourage them.
That's John Legend right there.
Yeah.
I wish we could keep this conversation going, but we have to take a quick break right now. Look at those Grammys. Oh my gosh. Show off. Show it off. That's a nice way to
put all
show
our
off.
awards on the shelf here. For
we should. We should. We're going to be back after a quick break. Wake Up Nigeria continues after this. All right, now let's try something new this week. Let's take away all those negative thoughts and change it to a positive thought in all ramifications. Now remember, a positive mind attracts positive things. Welcome.
I like that.
Welcome to the second hour of Wake Up Nigeria.
That's really, really good. Now we hope you enjoyed the first hour of the show. It was not too shabby, very nice.
It was.
And we've been awake for you. And we have an hour, 45 minutes to go, filled with premium family entertainment on the show.
So, you can share with us what's happening around you, around your world, in your social space, your corner, that corner that you've been hiding. We would love to know what's going on in your world. Use our social media platforms with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Now, thank you so much for joining us for the second hour of the show. This is the #1 breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Yomi Owokwe.
And I'm Titilayo. So you can always stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Now, of course, we have this app that you can download both on the Android and iOS stores. And the app lets you watch us anywhere you are in the world.
When it comes to being a part of the show. Chefs are like a #1. We're gonna have a chef showing us some ways to make some mouth-watering meals very, very soon.
Now, positive thinking might just be all you need to get through this stay-at-home period. And Stephen Omojuigbe is joining us via Skype. Tell us more about having a positive mindset.
Now, do you want to know how to manage your business income during this lockdown? Now, we're trying to prepare in preparation for the eventual removal of the lockdown. We have Sharif Badabosi joining us via Skype to talk a bit more about that.
And an auto segment, we have for all mechanical worries, Yomi Bosude of Auto Centric Garage is going to be sharing with us how best to manage your vehicles while they are on lockdown this period.
And of course, we'll be going back in history to look at some significant things that happened this week in history.
And finally, to wrap things up on the show today, we have Nigerian actress and producer Uche Ogbodo joining us via Skype as well.
All right. It's a rapidly changing world. Yeah.
Rapidly changing world. Yeah. So this week, the Ramadan is going to be starting. So the Muslim faithful, our Muslim brethren are going to be, they'll start their fast this week. And of course, a lot of people are expressing that it's going to be challenging for them personally. Because at home, you're going to have to break your fast in your home and not be able to go out to pray with others like you would usually do. Yeah. It was also quite challenging for Catholics as well during the Lent period where, you know, you have to go for the Station of the Cross, you know, you spend Good Friday at home for the first time for many Catholics, you know, since they were born. This is the first time that they spend Good Friday at home. So also for Muslims as well, a good part of the fasting period will be spent at home. So
when you think about it, the main challenges around fasting as an activity, you know, I'm using the word activity because you're actively staying away from certain things. You're removing certain things from your space. You're making sure you do not eat certain things, do not watch certain things, say certain things as well. But when you're at home and you're surrounded by loads of food, you're surrounded by people that, you know, you essentially can't really control much.
Maybe the first few days will be tough because you're at home. Yeah. But after a while, I think, you know, people eventually come around and they get used to it, and, you know, the focus, because especially when you focus your spirit and begin to really look at the benefits of fasting, eventually you get there. But I also wanted to talk about this is also the period where people have to buy food as well. So there will be increased market activity. So I think we also need to, the government also probably needs to plan in that area. People are going out to buy fruits, essential foods that they're going to use to break their fast in the evening. So it's a good period to also begin to plan. I'm going to mention
something about that. A lot of people that do go to the markets, I'm just going to, you know, suggest that they should have a pair of gloves with them, because, you know, there is a way that we, especially women, go to the market. Maybe you want to buy tomatoes, and you first of all want to touch the tomato to see, is it firm, is it soft, is it ripe? Same with fruit, same with some other things. And now you don't know how many people have touched this food, you know, in the past, hour or before. So yeah, so maybe just be a little considerate and just have your pair of gloves with you if you are going out to an open market.
Very important.
Covering up with masks has also been advised in some areas as well.
So when you do have your gloves, obviously, I mean, when you get back home, before you enter the house, you take the gloves off and you toss them. It's so all these little things are very key, you know, because you'll find that increasingly more people, as you get closer to the end of the lockdown, more people are going to be going out.
True.
And you can't, at some point, you can't really control the fact that people will have to go out, they have to do all these things. And so these little precautions are very, very important. Having that face covering, having your gloves on.
Very important.
Just little things like that, those precautions can save lives.
We have Ibrahim standing by for the news update.
Much, Titi. That's a very good nugget you guys gave us this morning. We begin with security matters in Katsina State, where more than 47 people have died after bandits attacked 3 local government areas there. But residents of Dutsimma, Safana and Dansuma local government areas say 73 people were killed. They say 17 people were killed in Dutsimma local government, 13 in Dansuma and 24 in Safana local government areas. The round of attacks is said to be resurfacing gradually when the world is preoccupied with battling the coronavirus pandemic. The reasons for the attacks remain sketchy, but the attacks have triggered massive relocation of residents to other communities. And meanwhile, President Muhammad Buhari has condemned the latest attacks by bandits in 3 local government areas of Katsina State that left 47 persons dead, a figure disputed by residents. In a statement, the president said that it will not tolerate the large-scale killing of innocent persons, adding that the attacks will be met with decisive force. President Buhari called on Nigerians not to lose hope in government's determination to defeat the criminal elements taking advantage of the lockdown. He also extended his sympathies to the families of the victims, advising Nigerians to be more vigilant by reporting any suspicious activities in their communities.
Among surrendered by the bandits is a general-purpose machine gun, 1 AK-47 and 3 FN rifles.
I dialogue with those people and...
But the state governor, Bello Matawale, says troops keeping the peace there have also achieved a feat. They have, according to him, captured 14 AK-47 rifles, an improvised explosive device, and cache of arms. The Zamfara state governor notes that safety of lives and property of his subjects will remain a top priority.
We have to adopt both.
Bello Matawale, however, urges citizens to ensure they adhere to all measures against the coronavirus pandemic. The charge came as he inspected the isolation center for infectious diseases in the state. He also wants them to stay home and be safe. Tessem Akende, TVC News.
And a good news here, a 68-year-old woman has been successfully delivered of a set of twins, a boy and a girl, at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital. Chairman of the Medical Advisory Council, Wasiu Adeyemo, broke the news in a statement shared via Lut's Twitter page. He said the woman who got pregnant for the first time with the aid of in vitro fertilization and was delivered of the babies via cesarean section. According to him, the development is the first of its kind in Louth, Nigeria and Africa, and both mother and babies are doing well. And let's leave you with preventive tips from being infected with the coronavirus as recommended by the WHO. See you again.
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time. It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby. These droplets are too heavy to travel far in the air. They only travel approximately 1 meter and quickly settle on surfaces. This is the reason person-to-person spread is happening mainly between close contacts. The exact time that the virus can survive on surfaces is not yet known. So it is wise to clean surfaces regularly, particularly in the vicinity of people infected with COVID-19. Hands touch many surfaces, which can be contaminated with the virus. You should therefore avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, since contaminated hands can transfer the virus from the surface to yourself. When coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth and nose with the bend of your elbow or use a disposable tissue. If a tissue is used, discard it immediately into a closed bin. The most effective way to prevent the spread of the new coronavirus is to clean your hands frequently with an alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. This will eliminate the virus if it is on your hands. Stay healthy and prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Thank you so much, guys. As you can see, lately I've been working from home and I'm here for you and still your number one breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Ben Faith. Today is going to be just a little bit body conditioning and I want you to repeat this exercise for 4 good times. Take your time. Each exercise lasts for 30 seconds and recovery period for 15 seconds. So if you're watching this, come on, don't just watch. I want you to stand up and let's work out. Alright, your very first exercise, you take it up, give me some walking. Your knees down, double push up. That's good. Take it up and out. Whew. Let's repeat this exercise. Go. Come on. Double push up. Good job. Plank and take it up. But for those that can challenge, I give you double push up. That's good. And okay, stop. I told you recover for 15 seconds. Your next exercise is going to be lunge. Alright, forward lunge. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Take it up and switch. Take your time and switch. You can as well condition your hand. Keep your core tight. Keep going. Don't forget each exercise lasts for 30 seconds and you recover for 15 seconds. Keep going, you're almost there. Keep pushing. Of course, where can you get this? Wake Up Nigeria. You're almost there. Come on, come on. That's good. And stop. Good job. Relax it, relax it, relax it. Your next exercise, I take it forward and give you some reverse crunch, reverse lunge. Are you ready? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Take it back. Up. Good job. Come on, don't stop. Keep going. As you can see. Woo. Yes, yes, yes. That's good, that's good, that's good. These are exercises you can do in your living room. No gym, no problem. Let's go, let's go, let's go. That's good, you're almost there. Keep pushing. Awesome. Good job. You have 3 seconds. Come on. And the last one. Relax it. I have 2 more exercises for you. I want you to do this exercise and trust me, you are good. Alright? All the way down. And take it side. Up. And you crunch. Go. That's 1. Keep going. That's good. Awesome. That's good. That's good. Yes, for those that can't go on this space, always remember you have every grace to hold it down. Up, down. Whew. That's good. And stop. Alright? Another thing is, anything you do to the right side, you have to make it balance to the other side too. Are you ready? Always remember, up, high side plank, and alternate. That's good. Come on, go, 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 go. Yes. As I've told you earlier on, if you can hold it tight this way, just make sure, hold, up, and in. Good job. That's good. Come on. Ooh. You're almost there. Yes, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, good job. The last exercise. Whew. I want you to give me that visit. Take it up. Whew. That's good. Come on, go. Yes. That's it, that's it. Good job. Hold it tight. It's not easy, man. But trust me, you can actually do it. Let's go, let's go. 3 seconds. For those that can't hold it tight, you make sure your elbow is down. Keep your legs straight and focus. You're almost there. 10 seconds to go. Come on, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, that's good, that's good. I want you to repeat this exercise 4 good times. Each exercise lasts for 30 seconds and you rest for 15 seconds. Still your #1 breakfast show. Don't go anywhere. The show continues.
Welcome back. Of course, it's about time for some Monday motivation for us. And we have Stephen Omojuigbe joining us via Skype. Hello, Stephen. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well, Gabriel. How you doing?
Excellent, excellent. Good to see you. It looks like you're looking relaxed and at home, not fully dressed in your usual 3-piece suit and all of that. It's very good to see you. So how has been so how has been how has the lockdown been for you, being with your family and all of that?
Well, there's the good, there's the bad, there's the ugly. The good being that families can be together. I said somewhere that one of the big winners of COVID-19 is families. You know, the time we get to spend together is very precious. The bad, of course, is that we can't make money. You can't serve your constituencies, you cannot serve your customers, and that's not good for anyone. The ugly, of course, is the death we are seeing, the civil unrest that we are seeing. That's very ugly. So it's a mixture of the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I do understand what you mean. That there are many, especially with the unrest and people getting a bit restless. Like you said, because people are not able to make money, especially those who maybe on a daily basis they're surviving, living from hand to mouth. But today there are a few things you'd like to talk to us about. Of course, this is what you do on a daily basis, dealing with people who are going through various things, especially when it has to do with mental health, emotional health, or emotional well-being. And all of that. So talk to us. People are at home right now, and sometimes you're thinking through this whole process, and you're wondering, where do I start from? I have all these burdens on me. It's almost like you haven't made any money, but when you're coming out of the lockdown, you're being met by so many different responsibilities and bills, as it were, that have been waiting for you all this time. So where do we start from? Talk to us this morning.
So one of the things that is most important for anyone to realize right now is that what is going on out there is very much something you cannot control. But there is something you can control, because we have been given as human beings unique endowments that allows us to control certain things. And the most important thing you can control right now is your own state of mind. And the reason why it's important to control your state of mind is what I've always said, that all performance is state dependent. How you show up at any time to work, how you show up to your family, how you show up post-COVID crisis, how you show up on a daily basis, even during the crisis. It all depends on your internal state. And your internal state is what you can control. I always like to give the example of sportsmen. Sportsmen understand the importance of psychology, because at the highest level of sports, what differentiates the first place winner, the gold medalist in an Olympic Games final, and the bronze medalist is usually not a question of competence. Both of them are usually almost at the same level. What differentiates them on the day is their state of mind. What is going on in their mind, what is going on in their emotions, whether they are in the zone, whether they feel confident, whether they feel like they have all their powers available to them. What differentiates winners and losers on the day is your state. Now, for sportsmen, 10 seconds, 45 minutes, 90 minutes, it's over, you get the result. You see what your state has produced. But for us as human beings, we don't get the results immediately. But imagine what 10 years, 5 years, 1 year, 30 days of cumulative poor state of mind can do to someone's life. So the most important thing to realize right now is the fact that you can control what is going on in yourself, no matter how tough it is out there. People are dying, which is a sad, sad, sad thing. You cannot go out and do your business, which is unfortunate. You are locked at home and you're isolated from your friends. But in all this, because of the unique human endowment, we can still make choices what we think, and what we think will determine, of course, how we feel. And the combination of what we think and how we feel creates our state, and our state produces our performance.
Yeah, thank you so much for this. I mean, as a life coach, as a life coach, a performance coach, and all of that, during this period, I mean, it's been 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks now. What's the most common thing, or common complaint, or common challenge that you have heard from some of the people that you have had to talk to and had to counsel during this period? What are the most common things that you hear, or the most common fears about their states of mind and all of that that you have heard during this period, and how have you helped to counsel people?
It's interesting. I've been hearing different things. You've mentioned one, which is fear. People are afraid, and people are afraid of dying. You don't know who has virus, you don't know who doesn't have it. Well, it's important to know that you don't want to die before death comes, and you don't want to allow fear to control you. Another thing that I have found out is that people are actually addicted to activities. And it's strange that you find business people who say things like, I don't have time to work on strategy. I don't have time to rejig my business architecture and my business design. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for the intellectual work. People have been saying that for me for ages. But now they have all the time in their hands. They still cannot sit down and do some of these things. So there has been, which is one of the gains and the positive things that I'm taking out of this whole crisis, the ability to slow down. The pace at which many people live is not sustainable. And though this is not by design, but one of the collateral positivities and collateral benefits of this whole pandemic is it allows people to slow down. A lot of small business people, for example, they work as technical hands in their business. And their business requires that they step away from that business and do strategy work and do work around redesigning of their business, repositioning of their business. And these things they cannot do because they are addicted to activity. So activity addiction is one of the things we're having to deal with. Another thing we're having to deal with, which is very close to what I said earlier, which is fear, is uncertainty. There's no, till today, we don't even know the certainty of the science of the coronavirus. Is it airborne or is not airborne? Nobody knows. Is the temperature in Africa a mitigant against it or not? Nobody knows. When will the economy be unlocked? Nobody knows. Nobody knows anything. And in times of uncertainty, it's important that people learn to hold on to their identity. One thing that can be certain for you in all the uncertainty is who you are. So you want to begin to continue to say to yourself, I am ingenious, I am creative. Whatever may come, however this will pan out, I have the capacity within me to respond to it. I am capable of enduring. If we have to sit down at home for another 1 month, I will find the creative ability to maintain my family. All of these things are things you can control in the face of uncertainty and in the face of fear.
Wow, thank you so much. I mean, these are words that I'm sure that lots of us need, especially with this extra 2 weeks that was declared by the federal government just a few days ago. And so people, initially thought that, okay, the lockdown was coming to an end, and then another 2 weeks was added to it. And, so you talked about a lot of uncertainty that's going on now, and, people focusing on what's important as opposed to dying before their death. So you're afraid of death, but, that is not allowing you live your life. And as we round off, I mean, we have just about a minute left. I want you to, just from where you are, look at your screen and talk to people who are at home right now. So they've heard you and they're beginning to at least learn a thing or two. Just address, someone who maybe is facing some of these challenges, facing fear, a little bit of uncertainty, and they don't really know what to do. And probably even some people who have run out of money at this point. Just a few words of encouragement.
So I want to leave everybody with 3 critical strategies, 3 things you can do very quickly. Number 1, you have to understand that your narrative is more important than your circumstance. The spin, your story, the story you tell yourself about any situation. It's more important than the reality of the situation. Two people can be in the same exact situation. One says that this is the end of my life. This one says that this is the beginning of a new vista and new opportunities in my life. The same circumstances, different narratives. And the narrative you have on the situation will eventually create your circumstance. The second thing that is very important to do at this time is to practice emotional distancing. Right now, we're practicing social distancing so that you don't catch the coronavirus. But more as important as it is to practice social distancing, it's also important to practice emotional distancing. It's not all the negativity that is in the press that you must allow to come into your life. You have to emotionally distance yourself from certain things that will always bring you down. And I don't have time to get into how you can do that. But the third critical thing that everybody needs to do is to act and act and act and act. Gabriel, a lot of times when two people co-star in a romantic movie, you find them falling in love outside of the set. Why? Because action produces emotions. So the fact that they have acted that they were in love and they have had to do with each other things that lovers do create a feeling inside of them that make them fall in love outside the set. People must understand that emotions do not follow action. Actions do not follow emotions. Emotions actually follow the actions. So if you start acting like an empowered person. Start acting like a powerful person. Start acting like someone who has the answers. Start acting like someone who has the capacity to deal with whatever problem that comes. And what you will find out is that resources begin to rise within you. Because like I always say, people don't fail because they lack resources. People fail because they lack resourcefulness. There is a resourcefulness, an ingenuity in the soul of every human being that can rise to the situation right now. And if you allow yourself to believe what I'm saying and begin to act like it, you'll find those well of resources rising up within you, and you will have ideas of what to do practically to get you out of whatever situation you may find yourself in.
Wow, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Stephen Omojugbe, for joining us this morning. I feel encouraged myself, you know, and I'm sure there's someone who is watching right now at home who is also feeling challenged and empowered. Quick break, and there's more on Wake Up Nigeria.
Autocentric garage, and today I'll be sharing with you more tips during your lockdown about taking care of your car. So today we'll be looking at the essentials, the very basics of the basics. So we're gonna pause the hood. While you're doing that, ensure you have it up properly. So the first thing you want to look at is your engine oil. Engine oil level. So now, in this case, you have the engine oil dipstick, right? This is pretty much clear because you have the high end and the low end, right? As you can see, high end, low end. Alright, so this is good. But to be sure, I'm going to need some rag that I used to clean and do a second check. So once it's clean this way, dip it back in space, bring it back out. Yeah, it's over here, so that's a good position for it to be. Alright, so after doing that, because this model vehicle has a dipstick as well for your transmission, so we're going to check the transmission fluid again. Now, checking your transmission fluid, you need to know how to do it. The engine is cold here, and now that's when you should check the fluid for your engine oil, when the engine is cool. However, for transmission, it's not that way. It's the other way around. When the transmission is warm is when you should check it, but you can also check it at cool level. So I'm going to bring out the dipstick for this Toyota and see. So I have this clean. Okay, so it says cool here, cool and hot. So when it's cold, it should be at this level. When it's hot, it should be at this level. All right, so I'll get that back in there.
Thank you so much for that one, Autocentric Garage. We have still quite a lot happening on the show today. And standing by, I believe we have on Skype Sharif Gbadamosi. Now, he's a learning and development professional with over 20 years experience in senior management and executive roles in the manufacturing and service industries in Nigeria and, of course, in the UK. Now, he'll be sharing with us how to manage business income during the lockdown as we prepare for its eventual end. Hello, Sharif, are you there?
Hi, good morning. Hi.
Good morning. It's good to see you. It's great to hear from you.
Likewise, likewise.
All right, so Sharif, a lot of people are worried. Financial matters popping up everywhere. Some people are still paying rent for their offices. Some are wondering about whether to pay staff. Some are wondering whether that order of, photocopier ink, or what do they call it, that stuff that they put in, they don't know whether to pick up that order or not. When it comes to our finances, what should we be looking out for right now?
Cash. The number one thing that we need to hold on to is cash, as much as we can, because liquidity is very, very important, both now and also when we come out of this pandemic. The ability to be able to, because once people come out of this pandemic, we don't know how long this is going to last. What's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of pressure and demand on your cash position. And you have to be able to pay those bills as and when they come so that your business can continue working without any glitches whatsoever. So number one position is actually cash, as much as you can hold on to it.
So you're saying do everything possible to cut down on costs, or do we just wait for the people that have been owing us money to pay us? How do we get this cash you're talking about?
Okay, there are many things that would, many ingredients that would help you to be able to get those cash. I hope, the way things are going at the moment, a lot of people's expenses have actually reduced tremendously because maybe they're not running offices anymore, bills and electricity bills, they're not funding that generator, so because everybody is at home. So what you found is a lot of people have actually, by default, been able to reduce a lot of their costs at the moment while on this lockdown. But at the same time, some of them have had to diversify. But it depends on what the nature of your business is. But for the average small business that is out there, I doubt they're really generating a lot of expenses at the moment, also depending on what the business is. So they have opportunities to be able to save some of that money for the future. But then again, there are also those that are still spending a lot of money, especially online-based businesses. I think for them, it will be business as usual. But the only problem is, in terms of generating income, not a lot of people have money at the moment because they are not earning. So the ability to be able to buy has also gone down. So a lot of these businesses might actually find themselves struggling. But also for those people that are not online, also their income is not coming. So they need to be able to, I don't like using the word hoard, but to some extent they need to hoard some money back because when the markets open and everything goes back to normal, they have to be able to function and pick up where they left off. Then there's also the problem of paying their staff, because if you look at the expenses that people have, there's their staff, they have to pay themselves because they also have bills every month. They have creditors that are on their neck saying, okay, you've owed us money before this pandemic started. We also need the money. Everybody needs cash. So there's already a lot of pressure on your purse to be able to meet certain obligations. Then you also have debtors, people that owe you money from your business. You find that you have more of pressure now to chase up those people and get some of this cash back. So everybody's like pulling at different financial strings to see how they can raise the money that they need. So that's where the pressure comes from.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the possible global issue of, everything is dropping. Stock prices are falling all over the world. Oil prices are falling all over the world. An impending recession, meaning that it's possible that even hoarded cash you've had in hand or you have in hand might not be worth as much as it used to be. What moves can a business owner or an average person make now to sort of try and make sure that their cash can still work for them after this is all over?
That's a very difficult one. It all depends on, well, nobody can predict exactly where the market is going to go or how low the market is going to go at the moment. I'll give an example. Some of the investments that I had, immediately the pandemic started, the financial institutions just called it in and just dumped the money back into my account. And I was very, very shocked. I was like, why can't I continue? And they said for now, CBN rules or some other things, they're not able to. So I'm actually stuck with this cash back into my account. Ideally, I would have loved this money to continue working for me, to continue building. But even they themselves, they're not sure what they can actually do and all that. So people are in a very difficult situation. The world is in a very difficult situation. I would say put your ears to the ground. Do a lot of investigation in terms of what I can readily invest in right now, because you don't want to hold on to large stockpiles of cash for those that have it. For those that don't, again, I say maintain as much cash as possible, but also look for ways in which you can multiply that cash. One of the things I was thinking about is, even as a business owner, for those businesses that are not really delivering at the moment, what you can do is you can dust off that hobby you once had. See what you can do online, because that's where everybody's migrating to at the moment. You have to be able to find something that you can do electronically that can generate income for you. So in a lot of cases, if you're a hands-on type of business, what skills do I have that I can adopt online to start making little money? Every little naira counts today. If you can get it as best as you can, yes.
Thank you so much, Sharif Gbadamosi, for contributing today. And I think one or two people out there have taken a few of those pointers. Hope to speak to you again soon.
Yeah, likewise.
All right, so if you have some cash with you, you better keep it safe. If you are looking to multiply it, maybe you should do some research online and see how you can do that. We have to wrap it up at this point so we can take a break, but we'll be back with more on Wake Up Nigeria after this.
Well, welcome to the third lap of this Monday edition of Wake Up Nigeria. It's April 20th already, and we've been at home for the whole of the month of April.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been great. We've been with you every single weekday morning. And honestly, it's been an amazing journey for us as well. A lot of changes over the past few weeks. 45 minutes to go on this Monday edition. Remember, if you have to be out and about, maybe, just reduce your movement.
Yeah.
Please stay indoors. Let's observe the highest level of personal hygiene as well.
Very important. We still have so much in store for you. Stay right here on the show till the end. We've had so many things already that happened on the show. A lot of motivation. And we just had Sharif Gbadamosi join us and talking about personal finance and how to manage your finances during this time. My name is Yomi Obe.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinso. Please use one of these options. Stay right there with us or go online. You can stream live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Yeah, send in your comments, likes, and whatever it is that you want to say to us on the show. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Tag us if you want to say something about TT's dress.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Is this what they call polka dots?
Yeah,
are they smaller than
no, once they're spots, it doesn't matter the size, they're polka dots. And I'm more polka dotty today.
Yeah, with the swan thing.
Yeah, we're swan brooch. Just
very
wanted
nice,
to
very
add
nice.
something. Thank you.
TT Oyinson, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, really? That golf clap, that was my real
that's
clap.
a golf clap.
If you haven't yet, download our app for both Android and iOS stores. Please watch us from anywhere in the world, as long as you have that app on your phone.
All right, so let's give you what's going to be happening for the rest of the show this morning. We're going to be looking at a couple of significant things that happened this week in our history.
Yeah, very important. And finally, we'll wrap it up with a Skype session with Nigerian actress and producer Uche Ogbodo. All right.
So very nice. So for those who missed it, earlier on at about 6:30, we were talking about the global concert that happened,
Yes, the
which connected
Global Citizen Concert.
Global Citizens Concert.
Very important.
And with the hashtag Together at Home, connected billions of people around the world. Just, that sense of solidarity, the sense of we're in this fight together and we're going to win, we're going to overcome.
I don't think the world has ever seen this amount of, so this connection we have, becoming an actual global village.
Yeah.
Feeling like you could literally touch someone, they're in their house across the world, you feel like you could touch someone. Lady Gaga was the person who basically had the idea and brought together hundreds of performing artists, actors, actresses, very important influential figures, government officials as well around the world.
Yeah, it was really
just
good.
Just to support the health workers.
Yeah, so every single continent, a lot of artists, all the big artists, of course, even in Nigeria as well, we had a few of our own top acts, give their performances as well.
So Burna Boy performed live. We had Stevie Wonder, Paul McCartney. There were some live performances from artists that you hardly ever see them in their own comfort zone, in their own space. We were seeing them in their houses.
And a lot of them were playing instruments. We had Taylor Swift with that special song. Lady Gaga herself, performed, and Beyonce gave a speech. A number of them also gave speeches as well. Leaders of the world, just encouraging people to, work together in this.
Stay home.
It's a global fight, and it was really fantastic.
Very emotional songs also being performed during that concert. You could probably find it on YouTube if you
check it out. I just use the hashtag if you're looking for it on any social media platform, Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube. Just use the hashtag Together at Home. You would find a few of the performances there.
We have Ibrahim standing by for the news update.
I also want to do my own performance too. Welcome to the news. We begin with security matters in Katsina State, where more than 47 people have died after bandits attacked 3 local government areas there. But residents of Dansima, Safana and Danmosa local government areas say 73 people were killed. They made it known that 17 people were killed in Dansima local government, 30 in Dansima and 24 in Safana local government areas. The round of attacks is set to be resurfacing gradually when the world is preoccupied with battling the coronavirus pandemic. The reasons for the attacks remain sketchy, but these have triggered massive relocation of residents to other communities. And President Muhammad Buhari has condemned these attacks by bandits in 3 local government areas of Katsina State that left 47 persons dead, a figure disputed by residents. In a statement, the president said he will not tolerate the large-scale killing of innocent persons, adding that the attacks will be met with decisive force. President Buhari called on Nigerians not to lose hope in government's determination to defeat the criminal elements taking advantage of the lockdown. He also extended his sympathies to the families of the victims, advising Nigerians to be more vigilant by reporting any suspicious activities in their communities. But it's a different story in Zamfara State as repentant bandits in the state surrendered various firearms to the government. This comes at a time when construction of the isolation centers for infectious diseases reaches an advanced stage. Among the firearms surrendered by the bandits are a general-purpose machine gun, 1 AK-47 and 3 FN rifles. The state governor, Bello Matawalle, says troops keeping the peace there have also achieved a feat. The Zamfara State Governor also noted that safety of lives and property of his subjects would remain a top priority. He urged the citizens to ensure they adhere to all measures against the coronavirus pandemic, asking them to stay home and be safe. And a 68-year-old woman has been successfully delivered of a set of twins, a boy and a girl, at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital. Chairman of the Medical Advisory Council, Wasiu Adeyemo, broke the news on Sunday in a statement shared via Luke's Twitter page. He said the woman who got pregnant for the first time with the aid of in vitro fertilization and was delivered of the babies via cesarean section. According to him, the development is the first of its kind in Louth, Nigeria and Africa, and both mother and babies are doing well. We leave you with preventive tips from being infected with the coronavirus as recommended by the World Health Organization. Bye now.
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time. It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby. These droplets are too heavy to travel far in the air. They only travel approximately 1 meter and quickly settle on surfaces. This is the reason person-to-person spread is happening mainly between close contacts. The exact time that the virus can survive on surfaces is not yet known. So it is wise to clean surfaces regularly, particularly in the vicinity of people infected with COVID-19. Hands touch many surfaces, which can be contaminated with the virus. You should therefore avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, since contaminated hands can transfer the virus from the surface to yourself. When coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth and nose with the bend of your elbow or use a disposable tissue. If a tissue is used, discard it immediately into a closed bin. The most effective way to prevent the spread of the new coronavirus is to clean your hands frequently with an alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. This will eliminate the virus if it is on your hands. Stay healthy and prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Early enough.
Very quickly, we don't have that much time to go
okay.
through this. Our This Week in History, we only have just about 3 minutes. Quite a number of things happened this week.
April 23rd, 2016, Beyonce released her 6th album, Lemonade, with a 1-hour film on HBO. Lemonade demonstrates Beyonce's increasing willingness and desire to express her political views. And one of the films for Lemonade depicted the mothers of Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin holding photographs of their sons. The album is also strongly feminist in tone, one song declaring women don't quit on themselves. Beyonce entered the US Billboard chart at #1 and became the fastest-selling album on iTunes worldwide. Its estimated total sales of 5 million beat the 3 million copies sold by its predecessor.
I'm so reckless when I rock my Givenchy dress.
Beyonce
It was a good album. It was
really powerful album.
Anyway, so this week in history, April in 1564, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
William Shakespeare, English poet and playwright, was born in Stratford upon Avon. Now, he was then baptized on April 26th, he is often called England's national poet. Now, of course, when he was born, he became eventually known throughout the world. And his works have been performed in countless villages, cities, metropolises for more than 400 years. And yet, the personal history of William Shakespeare is still somewhat a mystery over the course of 2 decades. From about 1590 to 1613, he wrote a total of 37 plays revolving around several main themes: histories, tragedies, comedies, and tragicomedies. That guy,
William Shakespeare.
a total genius. His works are still used, as references in many things, in politics, in drama, in film as well today.
And his quotes are still being used over and over again. So many different quotes being used in pop culture today came from either one of his poems or plays. Very, very significant. Now that we have time and we're at home, why not go just download one of Shakespeare's plays, maybe a video of it or a book?
I promise you will not understand it. I promise.
You can try.
The English, maybe a more
modern version.
More modern versions. So the Merchants of Venice, for instance, has a very modern version. That if you read it, you'll understand.
We have to take a break, but we will be back after this. Welcome back. Now, Uche Ogbodo is a Nigerian actress and movie producer. She's joined us via Skype, and we're about to find out what she's been up to and how she's been holding up during this period of total lockdown. Hello, Uche.
Hi, Uche.
Hi.
How's
Hi,
it going?
guys. Good morning. Well, I don't know. It's going well.
Yeah. So talk to us about how you've been coping over the last 3 weeks with this lockdown. And I know that some of the news we've been hearing has been quite depressing. But I know you've also tried to just keep your spirit up. But talk to us.
It has really been devastating for me, you know, because I was on set in the East when the pandemic started, and I couldn't leave set because I had like 4 projects to finish. So it was up till the day that I saw on the news, because each time I come back to my hotel, I have to look at the news and see what's happening. And I now saw that they were shutting down borders in every state. And I said to my producer, am I going to be here and they shut down border? My daughter is in Lagos. I need to get back to Lagos. And he said, what are we going to do? I said, I'm not finishing this job. I have to go home. I'm sorry. I have to go home. This is really serious. They're shutting down Asaba. They're shutting down Lagos. How am I going to have to leave everything? We have to call off set and head back to Lagos with the last Epis flight. I think that was the last flight going that day. That's how I got back here. And since then, it hasn't been easy.
Wow.
Sitting at home every day, thinking about what might come or what might not come. It's been terrible.
All right, then. You know, you just mentioned your child, you know, getting back to your child, you know, coming from set, getting back home. How has it been on lockdown with the child? Yeah, that smile is a knowing smile.
It's been crazy. Crazy.
I can relate. I
Yeah.
can. But
it's fine.
tell us some of the
You know,
things. Tell us some of the things you've had to do to keep your child engaged at home.
Now I have to play every second. I'm bored. Mommy, I'm bored. I need something. I need to go out. You can't go out, honey. You have to sit at home. Okay, let's play. Let's play hide and seek. Let's play hula hoop. Let's play this game. Let's do that. I have to do all, and I have to do all she wants me to do, and I have to do mine. How am I going to combine these things? Feed me, do this, do that. Oh my God, things I never saw, I'm not used to because I work and I have people who help me take care of my daughter, but now I have to do everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I know how it can be. I mean, we've got kids as well, and we know that every single minute it's either something or the other. You just had breakfast an hour ago, now you want to eat something else.
Exactly.
You want to go out and yeah.
And I have to feed like almost a 6 years old child. I have to feed.
Yeah.
You have to feed me or I'm not eating.
Wow.
Yeah, because you know now she has mommy at home 24 hours, and so she wants to use it. She wants to draw all that energy from you before you get back to work.
Oh God. Sometimes I'm just like tired.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on your social media following. Now you have quite a lot of followers, over 700,000 I saw on Instagram. Am I wrong? Yeah. So that's a really large following. Could you take us through how you feel your followership grew over the years?
Well, I haven't really been someone who is social media conscious like that, but I know that I have to be online most times because of my fans and because of people who want to see me and people who believe in me. But you know, a lot of people do so much for the followers that I don't get to do, or I don't think that I should do. I just always believe that I need to be myself, you know, and let my job or my work speak for me. You know, I never did anything to get the amount of followership I got, but I know that if I put in more effort, I will probably be at 3 million, because some of my colleagues are at 3 million, 5 million, and I just have 700 and something, because I am not so, you know, baba boom on that. So
yeah,
I
it's
don't even think it's enough. considering where I'm coming from.
Yeah, so as we look forward to the end of the lockdown, hopefully, and also the eradication of COVID-19, what are you looking at for the rest of 2020, from May to December? We know your birthday is coming up in another few weeks. What else are you looking forward to for the rest of the year?
Half of the year is almost gone, and I haven't really achieved anything, like a lot. I'm hoping that by the grace of God, if the pandemic stops or we get rid of it, I can get back to achieving some of my goals and working and set some of my projects on the road. I'm hoping that I'm able to do something before December 2020. Something worthwhile.
Yeah, well, we're all looking forward to it.
Yeah, we are,
looking
definitely.
forward to it.
I wanted to touch on something. You know, a lot of artists, actors, celebrities, influencers are getting bombarded by people who are asking for handouts. You know, I know you probably get those kind of messages as well. So how have you been able to handle that?
Well, you know, social media actually, especially in our country, I'm going to say our country because this is the one I see. I don't know what other celebrities outside the country go through from their fans. Nigerians, we have a lot of people who come online to do that, you know. But now it has tripled that in every post, in fact, in your inbox, I have like 100 messages begging me for money, asking me. Well, you tend to see that some of these people are not even truly the ones who are in need of these arms. They're just thieves and scammers who come online begging for money. Some of them are actually very comfortable, but this is a trade for them. So, like the closed businesses, now you can't go to the shops. This is their business online. That is where it scares me. Yeah. So now you won't know who to help and who not to help. It's been really terrible, but what can one do? You can only do what you can, and then let's try to always reach out to the right people and not the wrong people. That's what I can say about that.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's also pretty instructive as well. You know, try and do what you can for who you can, and for the right people. That's also quite important.
I'm thinking about. I'm wondering what you know. I know a lot of people have started their own sort of outreach programs. Have you started anything like that? Are you reaching out to your fans in any way during this period?
Yes, I am trying to reach out to them. Yeah, I've made several videos on COVID-19, telling them the pandemic is real because so many people don't believe it's real, you know. And I tried to do what I could from the video and giving hope, because there's nothing else other than hope. Yeah, we keep hoping because we can't see the future. And then in other ways, I try to engage in live video sessions with some people, hoping I can impact lives. Like yesterday, I had a live video session with an aesthetic physician talking about cosmetic surgery and beauty and people who want to engage and the do's and the don'ts, you know. And I'm thinking about tomorrow. I should be doing the obesity one, because a lot of people complain about weight loss, weight gain, how they want to keep in shape, how did I do it, how am I like this. So I wanted to speak to Nigerians who want to know how to lose weight by tomorrow. You know, you just give people hope and keep them alive.
Yeah. That's really good. As we round off, Stephanie, just maybe over another 20 to 30 seconds, why don't you talk to your fans out there, encourage them in your own way. Just talk to someone out there who's watching right now.
Okay, to everyone who's watching me today, I just want to say that this is scary. This is a scary moment for all of us, but then we have to keep our hope alive. Wash your hands. Try to stay safe. Stay home. I love you. God loves you. We have to keep trying our best not to get this virus, because, I mean, death is the end, right? It's very bad. So stay safe. Stay in your house.
Stay safe, stay in your house. Thank you so much, Uche, for joining us today.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate speaking with her, and she's so bubbly. She's so, full of life. Really, really great to speak to her, and it's great having you all at home with us.
Yeah, I was half expecting her daughter to show up on the
street.
Yeah,
I was waiting for that
point,
too.
during that interview. Maybe she had to go and lock herself up somewhere. Well done. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a great show, packed.
All right, bye. Oh, wow. So today's Monday.
Yeah.
We're just starting our week.
Yeah, lots of people were saying online that they were thanking us for reminding them that it's Monday.
Yeah.
Because everything has now fused. So
nobody remembers.
The weekend is the same as any other day. But yeah, it's been a great show.
It has been. And we're going to be back again tomorrow morning from 6 a.m.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day, y'all. Bye.